Welcome to We're Talking Bears, the show where Uncle, nephew, and son bring you the latest in the Chicago Bears experience. I'm Uncle.
I'm nephew.
Hey, son couldn't make it, man.
Hey, he's probably depressed, distraught, devastated. Um, man, it takes a while, man. The Bears, the emotional roller coaster that every week is watching them, good, bad, or indifferent, for how the season goes, man. Being a Bears fan is like a roller coaster, and it stings, man, to lose games, and definitely when you have such a promising season, it takes a little while to get over, man. So I understand, cuz man, he's probably gonna say it's what do they say when it's LeBron James? He's got a toe injury or load management or something like that. But I know what it
Load
is.
management.
I know what it
management.
is. It stings a little bit, but man, we'll get through it. It's been a great season. A great season.
It has been a great season. It's been a great season.
Yeah.
That's what can we say? It's been a great season. Seasons far beyond what we imagined. I mean, was it beyond what you imagined? Because you be saying we're gonna win every game.
I was about to say exactly that, man. Every time I come on here, I say we're gonna win. And for once the team backed me up. And for once they backed me up. I was as I am every season, optimistic. This year we had a lot of change. So it was a lot to look forward to, and a lot to be hopeful about. It wasn't the same regime. Ben Johnson was new, highly sought after coach in the offseason. We got him. A whole new coaching staff. The rookies balled out this year. Man, just an incredible new group of guys. It's a new culture they've built here, a new attitude. Caleb Williams is leading the team like he should. I mean, last year last year without a capable offensive line, we didn't really get to see how good he really was. And that's what we've been saying on this show for years. Like, you've got to protect the quarterback. You can't just sit here and say, I mean, even though Caleb, I do like more than Fields, you can't sit back and just say the quarterback isn't doing what he's supposed to do. You got to give him an opportunity.
Right.
And as soon as they did that from Caleb, he went from the most sacks in history to a magician to a Bears passing record, rookie records, all kinds of things that he did this year, man. And I'm extremely proud of those guys, and I look forward to what the future holds.
Yeah. No, I think it's bright, it's awesome, it's everything it should be. Boom, we're talking Bears. I mean, it's getting it done, and you're absolutely right. It started up front. If you don't protect your quarterback, you can't get nothing done. You can't get nothing done. And bam, it's just absolutely positive, beautiful, great, awesome season. It was way more than we expected. Honestly, I kind of hinged right on the Packers playoff game. I'm like, if we win this Packers playoff game, it not just proves that we took the North, but that we actually are the best team in the North, and we got that monkey off our back. Because they had our number for a decade and a half, man. And it's been, I mean, we had that 1 year in 2018 where we took it, but they took it right back. Like, they didn't let us keep it. This is different, right? Because we had to beat them in the playoffs. We had to beat them when they were the favorite. This is different. This is absolutely different. And so I think we are now considered the best team in the NFC North, period. Now, Detroit, we're still going to have some struggles with Detroit. They know Ben Johnson well, right? That's going to be a struggle. I'm not saying the Packers are going to roll over and die. Packers are going to try to take it back next year, but they also know they have to regroup to take it back. They can't just come at us with the same old, right? Yeah. They have to do something different. What they've been doing in the past doesn't work anymore, right? Vikings, the Vikings, who knows what the heck the Vikings are going to be? Nobody. The Vikings don't know what the Vikings are, right? But there we go. There we go. Caleb had a year. So that, as a year, I love it. Like you said, Caleb set the record most passing yards of any Bears quarterback in the history of the Bears. That's kind of crazy because this is his second year. It's not going to be his best year. He will eclipse what he's done this year.
Absolutely.
Right? He literally distributed the ball extremely well, had no 1,000-yard receiver at all.
Right.
Like 600 to 700 yards was almost everybody except Komet.
Right.
And if he just, we got to work it out. He was well protected. We ran the ball extremely well. Here's my only okay. As the season wore on, and as people saw that we were tougher than they thought, and they spent more time in the film room, one, we weren't able to run the ball as well. Two, we lost 3 out of the last 4. Both of those things aren't cool. And that's some growth stuff, right? Because, again, I didn't like going into the playoffs losing 2 of 3, right?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah. So that wasn't a good, way to go into the playoffs. We won the division. We made it to the playoffs. Next year, we know it's got to be a different energy. The rookies and the sophomores that have never played a 20-week season, that have never played in this type of cold in January. Even think about it. Most of these guys, even if they made it to a national championship, those things are held in California and Florida and places like that. They weren't prepared. They didn't deal with this.
Right.
They didn't deal with 10 degrees and 5 degrees and trying to practice outside and your hands are sore from this ball. And Caleb didn't have to deal with that either.
Right.
We got a comment over here. Caleb was lights out. Most of the season, I'm gonna say this Rams game, they had his number. They knew where he was going with the ball, and he got picked 3 times. It's been so long since he's gotten picked 3 times in a game that I forgot that he ever got picked 3 times in a game. That's how long it's been. I mean, It's just so, it was good. It was good. It was good. It was good. But we've got a lot of growth, but we've grown so much. And I didn't expect we go from 5 wins, new coach, bunch of new players, and then all of a sudden we're in the Super Bowl winning it.
And you know what?
I didn't expect that.
To me, that's what shows the most promise. When you sit back and you talk about Detroit knowing Ben Johnson, well, they absolutely do. When you talk about the Packers won't roll over and die, they won't. But what I can say is that what we've seen this season was a bunch of guys who are playing together for the first time. We had tons of injuries throughout the season. Even in that game, I think Tooney moved from left guard to left tackle.
I think they had planned that originally.
I wouldn't be surprised
because Benedict got in the game, but they didn't let him start.
Right.
I don't know what was going on there. I would have liked to have Tooney there. I think some of those runs, those short runs, if he was at the guard and you had that guard center guard push that we've had all year, we would have got some of those, 4th and short, 3rd and short runs more successfully. Yeah, and just to interrupt you on that, on the play where we did get the 4th down run, where Caleb slid over, he went behind Tooney, and Tooney folded his guy in. Komet cleared out. There was a huge hole. He didn't have to dive. He could have stood up and run through that hole. Yeah. But not having Tooney at that left guard hurt the run game. Yeah. But he was phenomenal as a left tackle. I mean, Caleb was so clean most of the day that he looked worse when he didn't have pressure than he did when he was a magician when he had pressure.
He had pressure, right? You're right. But
I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, it's not a problem. Not a problem. You're absolutely right. But I was just saying all of that to say, to me, that's the most promising part of all of this for me, is that this is new to all these guys. You give we got a bunch of rookies who played out of their minds this year. Caleb in his second year, first year in the system, first year with Ben Johnson, first year with protection, and he's setting franchise records. So I feel like even though these other teams aren't going to roll over for us, we're not going to come back as the same team. We'll be stronger when we return as well. And don't let us And of course, it's football. Injuries happen, but don't let us get on a roll where we're healthy for a nice stretch of time. We were injured all season long, and we had guys that came back. Like we got Kyler Gordon back at the end, but we lost Edwards. So I mean, all season long we've kind of been dealing with the injury and the next man up. So to me, that's what's promising, is that it's the culture here. The next man up is ready to play. We actually have a good team now. We have a team. It's not just about a couple of guys. We got a couple of good players. We actually have a team where the backup can come in and he knows his job. He knows what he's supposed to do, and we're able to continue rolling. So to me, that's what shows the most promise. Rookies like Burden, Rome's in his second year, like Caleb. He flashed. Of course, we know how good he is. After the injury sort of in this season, he has some spots where it's like, okay, he has some things to work on as well. But give these guys some time to play together, and man, we're gonna be a dangerous team for a while.
Hey, think about this. If I sat back and told you that the Bears had more yards, more first downs, that Puka Nacua was held to 56 yards on 5 catches, what's my God, I forgot what's his name? The Devontae Adams was held to 2 catches for 24 yards, that Tyler Higbee was held to 1 catch for 27, and Colby Parkinson had 3 catches for 56. He did their best out of them, that no one even got near 100 yards.
Of course not.
On their team. That Stafford got sacked 4 times. That Stafford got that we forced 2 fumbles off of him, and Stafford threw for 0 TDs. You think we won that game?
Hey, if we're being honest, we should have won the game. The defense gave up the early touchdown. Then they stood down and played amazing for the rest of the game. We didn't allow them to just march the field, and they have a great offense. It didn't look like the Niners looked against us. It didn't look like the Lions early in the season. It didn't look like some of these games that we've had, but we haven't been able to stop teams. When it's on the line, something about these young guys, man, they come to play ball. The defense did their part. When Caleb made that miraculous touchdown pass to send it to overtime, on that was
miraculous.
The defense came out. We won the toss, gave them the ball first. The defense came out and did their job. I feel like at the end of the day, these guys are young. It was just a mistake of being overzealous. I feel like you gotta protect the ball in that situation. It wasn't a 4th down. It wasn't like you just had to get rid of it, but we had every opportunity to win this game. So when you talk about those stats, we watched it, and I'm not surprised because we were right there in overtime. 1 score wins the game. We didn't need a 30-yarder. Unfortunately, that's just how the season ended for us. But I mean, hey, we definitely had a chance to win that game, and played well enough to win.
And honestly, in that overtime on that drive, and there were multiple. I don't want to beat up on Caleb, but he had a tough game. Let's just tell the truth. He threw 3 picks. It wasn't just him having a tough game. Loveland had, I don't know, probably
more
close
drops
to
than
10
I've ever
targets.
seen.
And Loveland had a lot of balls hit the ground off of his hands, off of both his hands.
Yeah, we didn't see that all season.
Yeah, Burden, similar. There are a lot of people dropping balls. There's a lot of complaints about the way DJ ran that final route. That it was just a sloppy route. It wasn't. He didn't go. He looked like he was supposed to cut that off and come and flatten it out, and he didn't. He didn't go fight to prevent a pick. Right. He just kind of watched it happen. Right. So I don't taking all of that away. There was just a lot of bad decisions. My kind of showpiece of bad decision making. Caleb rolled out earlier in the game. Benedette was in as basically a huge tight end, right? 325-pound, 6'8" tackle was in, and he was eligible receiver. He ends up at the first down marker. Caleb's 9-10 yards away, trying to decide, do I throw him the ball or not? And you can see the indecision. And he throws it hard, it hits Benedict's hands and it falls to the ground. A left tackle drops a pass, right? Not surprised. One, if you're going to throw it gently. But two, it's your left tackle, and there's no one around you. What should you do in this situation?
Right. Take off.
What do you think? What would you do? What are you going to do?
Use my legs.
You got your left tackle 9 yards in front of you.
Yeah.
And you're near the sideline.
Yeah.
And there's no defenders.
Yeah. Come on.
Run.
Right.
Run. You have a 330-pound blocker that's unaccounted for.
Right.
He might take out 3 guys.
Right.
If he takes out 2 guys, the likelihood you get in the end zone is high. If he
Right.
takes out, because Caleb's quick, right? If he takes out 3, that's touchdown. But worst case, all you got to do is step out of bounds. You ain't got to take a big hit.
Right.
You turn that corner and see Benedict there. Go, man. Let's go. Just wave. Let's go. Let's go. We gone. We don't. It's not a discussion. It's not a should I throw the ball. Like I can cover that ground.
Right.
That the ball's only going 10 yards. And what happens? He throws it hard. It hits the ground. We get nothing out of it. Those 20 yards, easy. There was no way we don't get 20 yards because nobody was there. Because you couldn't throw your left tackle who's standing still the ball if anybody was around. Nobody was around, right? And this is one of the biggest men on the entire roster for the Bears. And nobody's around, and he gets to take a running start at people. Somebody on the Rams was going to get hurt on that play if they had just run. And there was just a lot of, even the play where he threw the ball, to wherever, whether it was to DJ, whether he missed Luther Burden, whether it was just late, whether it was just a bad cut. The final play of the game, we had 6 minutes, both
first down
and Monangai were open for a dunk. It was second down, and I think it was 2nd and 8. And he could have flicked it to Monangai and let him, turn and go. He could have flicked it to Komet and let him just step out of bounds. It's one of those where what? All we need to do is matriculate down the field and score a field goal, and we move on. And I get, again, it comes with time. And Ben Johnson, too. Why are you not kicking field goals when Cairo Santos, again, still has never missed a field goal in the playoffs? So why, when you get inside the 30, is that not automatic? We're not going for it on 4th inside the 30. Let Cairo do his job. That's the difference, because it was tied at the end of regulation. One kick by Santos that they gave him, boom, we win. So there's a lot. There's Ben Johnson has done a phenomenal job. He's turned the franchise around as a coach, no argument. But some of these decisions are almost amateur hour, right? It's come on, man. Lovie Smith used to say you don't take points off the board, right? When you're coming to this is the end of the game. This is the playoffs. Not the end of the game, the beginning of the game. This is the playoffs. You march the ball down near their 20. You take the points. Take the points. The points are always bad. Points are important, especially in the playoffs. It's going to be close, and it is. So take the points. Let's go. That's man. So that's a little bit of pain. We could. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I'm proud of them for everything they did. I don't want to be nitpicky, but we're here to tell the truth also. So that's kind of, there's a lot there. Defensively, it was a clinic. Robinson had a sack and a forced fumble. Sweat had a sack and a forced fumble. Gordon and Brisker had sacks. Again, Puka, I was afraid. I said, what are we going to do with Puka? Gordon locked him down. He did. He was all over that guy. And he wasn't the only one. We handled Puka. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL. And their second best receiver is Devontae Adams. He's torched us by himself when he was the best receiver in Green Bay. So we did a job. We did a job. But at the same time, we let Kyron Williams get 2 touchdowns and a whole bunch. We have to be better against the run. I think that's part of what we got to draft. We got to draft to get better at the run. We're going to have to make some moves on defense. Some of the guys that are starting on defense are going to move down in the in the depth chart. We got to draft some people that take some people's jobs, because we're just not good enough against the run to make it all the way. If we were a little better against the run, we win that. And I also think we need to go ahead and get a real fullback. We need to find a fullback who's got decent speed, who can play some special teams, because you want him out there. But we need a real, like, every down type of fullback, because there are times when you just need to freaking line up and run the ball in. And you could go ahead and put a 6 offensive lineman, 2 tight ends, and a fullback. Let's go. We're going to run, by the way, because we don't even have a receiver on the field except for our tight ends, which are great tight ends. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, boom, let's go. And having a fullback that actually is really good at special teams can make that difference right there. 49ers in use check, he makes a difference on that team. There's a reason why that guy got a roster spot every year, and there's a reason why the 49ers are competing every year, and they actually beat us, So that's where I am. That's kind of where you at? How you feeling?
Man, I told you, I'm excited for everything we've done. It's over now, so I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. We got to tell the truth. We definitely could have won that game. So that's kind of the bittersweet part of it all. We didn't have to, exceeded expectations for the season, but we didn't have to go out when we did. But just to think moving forward in the positive light, we could have been playing for the NFC Championship. Now, I don't know, because we didn't get to make it, so we won't see how we would have fared against we
won't know.
The Seahawks. We would never know. But we know that we could have made it to that game had we just finished stronger, made a couple of different decisions, 1 or 2 different decisions, made a couple of plays during the game. Like I said, like all seasons been, even down to the wire, if we just did some things differently on the last drive, all is forgiven with the 2 picks that he would have thrown prior to that third one. It's like you forget about those things when you win the game. So
right.
So much positive to be taken from it. I'm excited, interested to see how they make space for what we need defensively. Interested to see what they do with guys like Nashawn Wright. Interested to see how our secondary looks. I'm just interested to see how they make us tougher in the areas where we're still weak a little bit. I love all these guys on the team because they went out there and played tough. They played together. They next man up motto. We saw a lot of good things from a lot of these guys, but unfortunately, that's just how professional sports goes. Everybody can't go, so we're gonna see what moves they make next year, and I'm interested to see how we get stronger. I'm sure they'll make the right move, because from last year to this year has been an incredible turnaround. We've been listening to polls for a while, so he was going to do certain things that took him a long time to do. So
took him a long time.
I don't know if that's because guys like Ben Johnson are here now, or if somebody just put the fire under him. I don't know, but whatever's going on right now, I feel like somebody knows what they're doing. And
there we go. And I'll give him. He's had some good drafts and bad drafts on the offensive line. For every Darnell Wright, there's a Kieran Amagaji, right? So it's been up and down, but Right is Benedette, good. Right, excellent. Ozzy Trapillo looks like he might be excellent.
Yep.
He looks like he might be. I can't. It's terrible that he got injured.
Tough, man. Tough.
Man. But hopefully he'll be 100% when he comes back, and we'll see. I mean, I like where we are here. Let me toss up a few questions to you. Okay, you tell me who did a better job. All right, here we go. Who did a better job?
I mean, it's tough to say. We didn't get the W, man. So it's tough to say. But if I'm being honest, and I'm talking about these two guys, the coaches, I got to give some credit to Ben Johnson, because what we can say is that the Rams had this expectation this season.
Oh, the Rams, statistically, the Rams should beat the hell out of us, right? So,
and what if they won a championship in the last? We didn't get
the W.
What if they've won in the last 4 to 5 years, if I'm not mistaken? I forget, was it 2020?
Yeah.
So, their team is a little more seasoned. They're a little more, and you see it by the odds and the bet makers. They had them as the better team. So I gotta say hats off to Ben Johnson and even Dennis Allen, man, because the defense came to play. Their offense is tough. So,
man, their offense averages. Their offense is ridiculous. They lead the league in passing touchdowns, and they got 0 passing touchdowns. 0.
So I mean, hey,
0.
I feel like with them two for this game, it's kind of close. If I had to choose between Dennis Allen and one of them, I would say him, because that's our weak point and that's their strength. And we held them with a defensive team who hasn't really been the greatest all this year, and that's where we struggled a little bit. As far as Ben Johnson and him, I feel like his offense wasn't the greatest on the Rams. They didn't have an excellent showing. They were able to come out with the win, but I also feel like on our side, there were some things we could have done differently offensively. Some of it was playmaking on the guys, but late in that, and like in overtime, I feel like some of that is like, like you said, matriculate the ball down the field. I don't know, was that just play calling? There was a lot of open space, so I'm not going to say it was a bad play call, but DJ didn't end up being in the open space, and we didn't hit him. We ended up losing the game. So I feel like they were kind of close in that one, but it's hard to argue with the winner, man. But I'll say, as far as the Bears, I'm giving it to Dennis Allen. You didn't ask me that. He wasn't pictured there, but I feel like he outcoached McVay. Absolutely.
All right. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. All right, here's the next one. So who outplayed who?
Man, again, it's hard to argue with the win, but second-year guy, new offense, and the reason I'm gonna lean Caleb is, well, of course I'm biased. I'm from Chicago. It's the home team, but I'm gonna say this: when you are the favorite and you are a Super Bowl champion, you are potentially the MVP of the season with the season that you've had, and you go against a defense who's not a highly touted defense in the Chicago Bears. Now, granted, I feel like they played above what they've been playing all season, but Matthew Stafford, you're potentially the MVP this year. This is Caleb's first year in this system, and all year he's been able to come up with miraculous plays. So for him to be able to be on 4th down and 4th and whatever it was, drop back and then turn around and run back 15 yards, then throw a bomb to the back of the end zone, I didn't see that from the MVP, from the potential MVP in this game. So even though Caleb didn't get it, and even though I'm biased, I'm gonna go with my boy Caleb because he fought real hard, and those just aren't plays everybody makes. So to be in that game where you're really the underdog, you're a true underdog, you don't have the experience. I'm gonna go with Caleb.
And I hear you. You know what? I would say it's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah.
Because for every super play Caleb had, he had a negative play too. And so I'm gonna call it a toss-up. But by your own metric, by it being a toss-up, you got the stronger team. You've got the championship pedigree. You've got 20 years almost of experience in the NFL. You done seen 2 divisions back and forth, top to bottom. You done played the best teams in the league all year, and you're neck and neck with a second-year guy who's just just developing with a brand new head coach, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm gonna have to lean toward Caleb. Despite the 3 picks, the fact that it shouldn't be a tie, right? It shouldn't even be a competition. Shouldn't be a competition. So that without question. All right, now I'm gonna throw the what do you call it? The round where everything happens. Here's the wild round, right? So here's the wild round. So let's go down the list. All right, first one off the bat, DJ versus Puka.
I didn't see a lot of DJ, and because of that last play, man, it just leaves a sour taste. It's like, break the play up or something. But this game just wasn't the game. If we're just talking about overall in the season and what these guys have been doing, DJ had a pretty good season. I liked a lot of the things he did, especially in those 2 Packers games where he helped us take those boys down.
Right.
He made some huge plays in those games, especially after it looking like Caleb didn't want to throw him the ball or they weren't designing plays for him, is what we talked about earlier in this season. So it looked like they just weren't utilizing him, and he still played ball. He was able to come up big for us in some big games. So if we're talking about over the season, I'm
just this game.
I got to go with Puka. Unfortunately, I got to go with Puka because even though he didn't kill us, he didn't get off. I feel like I saw more from him than I saw from DJ. Man, I didn't see from DJ what I would have liked to see from DJ.
I mean, up until the last play, DJ had a good game. Statistically, he caught 80% of what was thrown his way. He had a touchdown. Puka didn't, but that was important.
Yeah, you're right.
That was important. Puka didn't hurt his team, right? That there by DJ not. If DJ had gotten the mix, dove, and broken that up, DJ's a superhero, right? And we live to play another down.
Right.
But that's not what happened. Rome versus Devontae.
I'm not gonna lie, man. As great as these guys have been this season with this amazing turnaround season, I didn't see, even like you said, Devontae didn't get off on us like for what we've seen in the past. He didn't do much of anything. But I just remember Rome dropping the ball, the touchdown pass at the beginning of the game. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like outside of us winning and some key plays that our guys did not make, I feel like it's us. It's us because I feel like what you said, we had every opportunity to win the game, and these guys are elite. These are elite receivers they have on their side, and we held them. They didn't get off on us. But when you think back and when you lose by a field goal and the overtime, and then you think, well, you dropped a touchdown pass. It's like,
right. And you dropped that literally. It hit
tough.
Both of his hands.
It's tough.
And you dropped the touchdown pass. That again, neither of them did much. Devontae had 2 catches. Rome had 2 catches. But again, Devontae didn't hurt his team.
Right.
Rome did hurt the team by dropping the touchdown pass. So again, by having a serious negative play, it wasn't that they were just flat out outplayed by the guy on the other side of the ball. The guy on the other side of the ball didn't hurt the team, and that hurt the team when that touchdown hit the ground. That we didn't get any points out of that drive, if I remember properly, because I think Ben then refused to kick a field goal. But I think that was that one. Loveland versus Tyler Higbee.
Man, you know what? Only because I feel like Love, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I watched the entire game, and it's a blur to me. The games are so crazy. I just remember like how I look back and I'm like, okay, well, I know Colston dropped more passes than I've ever seen him drop before. I don't know what was going on with him.
Passes than anybody in the league.
I've never seen him do that, and for him to have had such huge games lately for us, I just don't know what was going on. But I don't remember Higbee doing anything to us really. So it's like
Higbee had 1 catch, so Higbee did almost nothing.
Right.
Loveland have 4 receptions off of 10 targets. Most of those were drops.
Yeah.
He probably had more drops than catches. Most of those targets hit his hands.
Yeah, he had about 5 drops, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. He had more drops than receptions.
Yeah.
You know, I still will give it to him. Even as bad as that is, it wasn't as bad as just one catch.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying.
Right.
But it's just so hard because it's like Colston is so much. He's so much better than what he gave.
Yeah.
He's so much better than that. So yeah, I get it. You're right. You're right.
Bears offensive line versus Rams defensive line.
I think our O-line was good, especially considering the changes that we made, losing Trapillo. And you know, and like you said, maybe that was the reason that we weren't getting the run off the way we have. But lately, it seems like we haven't been able to run the rock the way we did early in the season. I don't know if it's been game planning by the opposing defense or not. But outside of that, I feel like, man, Caleb stays clean for the most part. And so by that measure, I have to say the O-line played a good game. And again, a lot of the times we just weren't taking advantage of the opportunities that we had. Yeah, we want to get 6, but sometimes it's best to take 3. I'm going to give it to our O-line. I feel like some of that is just looking at the outcome of the game when in retrospect, we actually were getting the ball down the field. We were keeping Caleb clean. He didn't take a lot of sacks. We weren't getting, it wasn't like he was getting like, you know, a lot too much pressure to where we couldn't move the ball. We moved the ball pretty well all game long. So I'm going to give it to us. You know, outside of the receivers, man, I'm looking at this. I'm pretty much thinking it's Bears, man. We should have beaten these Rams. And that's the key to all of this. I know it's crazy because they won the game, but most of these comparisons you have here, I'm going to go with the Bears. Our D-line, I feel like played pretty good. They got pressure. What was it? Four sacks we were able to get. You said, is that what you said? 4?
We got 4 sacks on Stafford, 2 forced fumbles by our defensive line. 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles by the D line.
Right, and then
2
Brisker and Gordon. Right.
Yeah.
But all of that starts in the trenches. So I mean,
it starts in the trenches. If
it has to do with their D line.
The blitz ain't gonna help you.
Yeah. So, man, I'm looking at that and I'm saying, hey, what we were able to hold their team to, and Stafford and his receivers has everything to do with the D line getting pressure on him. And we talked about that. We need to be able to get some pressure on him to make it a game, and they did that. They did it.
2 of our edges got sacks and strips. So, bam. I'm however, we didn't do so well against the run.
You're right. You're right.
So that's like you can't we didn't get gashed in the run, but we couldn't stop them near the end zone. That was where we couldn't stop him in the red zone running the ball. That hurt. That kind of levels it out to me. But I'll say in general, our D line did what it was supposed to do, and it stopped that vaunted offense.
And look, I'll say this sometimes, and I've heard, I think it was Cuz said this in one of the last episodes that we did. He was like, you got to pick your struggle. You can't be getting killed by the pass and getting killed by the run. We know our defense is a place where we struggle a little bit. So for them to be able to say, okay, we're not going to let you kill us on the run, but we're going to try to make sure we take the passing game away from you. And again, only 2 touchdowns to be spoken of in the game, if I'm not mistaken, right? 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns on the ground by Kyron Williams.
So I mean, we got torched by the Niners, and we couldn't stop anything.
Oh my God.
So
oh my God.
I look at it and say, you're absolutely right. We weren't able to stop the run, but considering how our defense fares against elite teams, this was an incredible showing.
It was incredible. It was look, this was a good outing for any defense. If you sit back and you hold the Rams to 17, you're supposed to win.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to win. That was a good outing. So it wasn't perfection, but it was a good outing. All right, Bears D versus Rams D. Both Ds came to play.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rams, their ability, they used our trick on us. They took the ball away enough that they won the game.
Yep.
That's what we usually do.
Yep.
Our defense stopped their vaunted passing attack. Period.
Yep.
Man, what do you think?
Again, you know how I am about the Bears, man. I'm riding with the home team. I'm going with my guys, especially because they played above expectations considering who they were facing. I don't think anybody prior to this showing, prior to us seeing what they were able to do, would say that our defense really would stand a chance against the offensive attack of the Rams. And they did. Like you said, 17 points, you should be able to win that game. So I'll say our D. And then when I flip it to their defense, they came to play as well, like you said. But we know how our offense has been sometimes this season. We wait till the fourth quarter. Sometimes we're a little inconsistent with moving the ball. So I'm not saying that means their defense didn't come to play and they weren't the cause of that. I'm just saying that this is something we've seen from other teams have been able to do to us. You get what I'm saying? So
right.
A lot of it I feel like are self-inflicted wounds. And then when you talk about, again, not taking advantage of those field goals when you have the opportunity, those are a couple more points to put on the board. So we should have had more points. we should have had more points. It's not just like they just weren't taking opportunities to score. Our defense actually stopped them and held them to the 17 points. While their defense didn't actually hold us to the points we had, we kind of took some points off the board.
We allowed it. I mean, you give away a touchdown, Rome.
Yep.
You got Colston with 5 drops. That's probably 10 to 13 points right there.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to agree with you on that. I think it's a tough edge, but I'm going to say the Bears D edges the Rams D on this game. And mostly because their offense is more vaunted. I mean, they have a higher power offense. Their number 2 receiver is probably a Hall of Famer, right? That's their number 2. So what do you do? All right, Bears special teams, Rams special teams.
I'm trying to think about what the Rams special teams did. One thing I'll say, the field position that our special teams was getting, of course, they scored 2 touchdowns, so it was a couple, whatever the kickoff in the beginning of the game. We do a good job, and it's not Devin Hester. Nobody's Devin Hester, but I appreciate the field position that they're able to get into. We used to see guys at the kickoff, and it's like, man, you would have got further taking a knee in the end zone. But now I feel like for some reason it's like who's my boy back there? I'm tripping right
Devin
now. Duvernay. I feel like, man, he's been coming to play, and I like him. I like what he does. I wish we could have gotten another field goal block. That'd have been nice. But I feel like special teams has been doing their part. When Santos has been out there kicking, what we've seen in the past, guys being able to come around the edge or right through the middle and contest kicks, and we haven't been seeing that. So I feel like special teams, they've been doing their thing. I can't recall anything that the Rams special teams did. I don't know.
I'm going to say both kickers were perfect.
Right.
Both kickers did not hurt their team. Made their extra points, made the field goals they were asked to make.
Right.
We did better at returning the ball.
Right.
By almost a first down, by about 8 yards per return, Duvernay. So that's a substantial difference. But they were smarter. They punted a lot more. That's part of the game.
And man, we have an incredible kicker. We have an
incredible punter. But they just punted a lot more than we did. Yeah. We refused to. So we refused to punt. We refused to kick the field goals, and we ouch, right? So I don't know who to give that one to. It's a tie. I'm gonna call that overtime ran out and the score was even.
Right.
Well,
I got a question for you real quick though.
What you got? It's
water under the bridge, but I want to know, do you call a timeout before that field goal in overtime?
Oh, yeah,
By the Rams?
absolutely. Absolutely.
I couldn't believe there was no timeout. When the game ended, I was like, what?
I call it timeout because,
Yeah.
worst thing that, you know what? If he misses, it's a whole different game. And, he like Santos was perfect that night, but you never know. You call it timeout, the wind might pick up. You just don't know. You just do it. Just do it. I mean, the Eagles did it to us and got through, right?
Right.
But he's better than Cody Parkey, but you don't know. Just try. Just try, And it was, yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah, absolutely.
The last thing I'm gonna say, I can't argue with the turnaround since Ben Johnson has gotten here. But man, he's like, how can I describe him? To me, he's like somebody that just plays with fire. Like he's dangerous. You get what I'm saying? He's dangerous. Like
he's dangerous.
And in a way, I appreciate it because it's football. So when I'm watching him go for 4 downs, a lot of the times it's like, okay, if you get it, great, right? And when you don't get it, you look foolish. But a lot of times I'm with him because it's like, hey, if you can't execute against this team, you can't win anyway. But then sometimes it's like you might be pushing it a little bit. Sometimes it might
he
be
absolutely
okay to
goes
take
way
the field
past the
goal.
line.
But then other times it's like, yeah, guys, if we can't make this happen, then we're not gonna win anyway. So I trust you. Go out there and make a play on 4th down. And I just say he's dangerous because he does it all the time. He doesn't have any chill when it comes to like, all right, this time I'm going to kick the field goal. But sometimes we're going to line up and he doesn't seem to switch it up. And that's why I feel like he plays with fire a little bit. And part of it I feel like that confidence in your team sometimes is what allows them to go out there and be confident in themselves and play maybe above where their talent is, but maybe where their heart is. You get what I'm saying? Where it gives them a little bit of an edge. And so I appreciate that part. I just hope we find a balance in the future, because in this game, field goal would have actually won it for us in regulation. So
man. Yeah. That I can't disagree with anything you just said. It's absolutely, he plays with fire. Sometimes he's a riverboat gambler, but he does get the best out of his guys, and they believe in themselves because he believes in them. He's not sending them out there to say, go lose. He's like, dude, what's up? You can do this. Right. So, still maturity wins, right? Because usually the guy that takes the wildest course, but at this level of the game, when you're talking about the last 8 teams, top 25% of the NFL, and think about it like this: 11 teams this year had 11 wins.
Right.
11 teams had 11 wins. So to be inside the top 8 is huge.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah. Well, hey, I'm Uncle.
I'm Nephew.
And we're signing off for this season. We're talking Bears.
We're talking Bears. Absolutely. It's postseason. Hey, but
postseason.
Check us out.
It's off season now.
It's off season, but check us out. We won't have updates every week, but we will check in with you guys, and we will have updates as they come out. We'll be sure to continue to giving you content. So make sure to tap in with us. Still like, share, and subscribe. And as always, bear down.
Bear down. 3-4.
Sweetness.